we're still warming into all of the, post time skip area and what I would refer to as part two of Black Clover. And a lot of characters, they're still showing up all their new moves. We'll be getting soon, and we still don't know fully capable of even what Asta's got added to his arsenal in the last 6 months. But before we even get to the point of just looking at that full extent of what he's got and what other people have, I want to talk about something that I think is inevitable for Asta, if not possibly already have, and that's the addition of him getting like armor and trinkets to him. Now, one thing that we did see recently is he can call his sword pretty much back to his hand, by manipulating the anti-magic and just pull it back over. I wish that he got some form of trinket that let him do that, something that kind of add on, because one thing that we do know about Asta is because his lack of magic, he can't have a lot of the basic skills that a lot of the wizards have. Like, they could sense magic. He, was able to get key sensing. They have flying brooms. He learned to manipulate anti-magic to fly in his sword. They had mana scan. He developed his black form. There's stuff that whenever characters, develop something, or reveal something rather, that it's like, yeah, this is standard. Asta has to try and figure out how he can keep up with that, how we can just kind of bridge the gap. And one thing that we know, obviously characters getting lots of new spells, and they can get, magic tools and whatnot from inside dungeons and for trade and everything that we've seen. There's the whole, kind of question of could Asta have to advance that? And one of the most obvious ones I think people have, speculated is armor. And Tabata, it takes, he's a big fan of Berserk. If you know anything about Berserk, that Guts, when he gets his Berserk armor, it's revealed that it was made by Dwarves. And what do we know about, Black Clover? Recently, we got the addition of Dwarves into the canon of the lore. And with that, we can really wonder how they're going to play into the story later on. But with Asta's swords, we know, there's a foreshadowed 5. If you go back and look at chapter, was it chapter 100, 101? I had to go back and double check. But when the Witch Queen is giving information about the swords and saying how, who they originally belonged to, when we found out that they belonged to the Elder of the Elves, you can see him holding 2 swords and what looks like 3 swords plunged into the ground behind him. So it's assumed that Asta's will have 5 swords. I still think he'll get a 6th sword, maybe one that's customized, made specifically for him and not that were licks. But I really am liking the idea of, instead of when he meets the dwarves, hey, we'll make you another sword. If he instead is able to get some form of, a gear, oh, this is a brace that will double your physical strength. This thing will let you, it will increase your body's physical durability. Stuff that it's just a perk. It just gives them a little bit of an added bonus. Maybe it's oh, this will let you see in the dark. It's stuff that's not groundbreaking, that it's once Asta, puts it on, it's wow, he's broken now. It's just a real nice addition to him that, gives him an enhancement without, breaking his character. Armor, I think, eventually will, would get pretty bulky. I'm hoping it's more of kind of just maybe some plating and maybe some greaves, not a full bodysuit. I mean, I'm not against the idea. I'm just kind of going off what I would guess. A full body suit for Asta would be really sick. Just imagining him in some sick armor, and then that's when he puts the the anti-magic on it, it's just black, and it changes into the a demon anti-magic demon armor. And the question is what would be the point of giving it to him where it's going to still be fair? Because if it's straight, oh, here's an anti-magic armor set, it'd be kind of broken. That's why I think it'd be cooler to, instead of a full body suit, maybe give him just kind of buffing gear with various things. Oh, this thing will make you immune to poisons, or this will heal you, or imagine if it said he got a shoulder plate, he got a shoulder plate that has the Black Bulls logo on it, and it's oh, this will slowly restore your stamina over a period of time. So it's oh, you just get increased stamina regeneration. Nothing that'd be unfair for Asta, but something that just kind of logically is a buff to his style. Something like that. That's why I was I kind of wish that he got some form of wrist guard or something that it lets him call back his swords instead of him just kind of being able to do it. Not a big deal to me, but at the same time, with the addition of the dwarves, there has to be, there has to be something about them that they're going to, be a benefit to befriend and whatnot, and eventually get work for. Because it'd be kind of weird enter as dwarves, the people that are usually known for being like smiths and crafting all these things, especially when we know that Tabata, when he takes inspiration from Berserk, that, the main character's armor is made by dwarves, not to give something to Asta. I don't know. Maybe he'll get kind of like something that he can add onto his sword. Like you can see like the, the spot right here on the Demon Slayer sword. Right at the crossguard, there's a hole. Maybe he'll get something to add on there to add to a buff. It's a really interesting kind of like way to get your head around, because I think obviously going for like anti-magic armor would be the the first one to think of, but then again that'd be kind of like too OP if it's like he can't even get hit by spells, because that's the kind of weak area for Asta that kind of like balances him. It's the swords that are anti-magic. He is not immune to magic. He has ways of negating and canceling magic that affects him, but he can still get hit by a spell, in his back, in his chest, or whatever, and it could still do damage to him. It'd be kind of too OP if he just was like, I'm fully immune now. Unless this was like final battle thing, but at the same time, in final battles, to be like, man, that's kind of unfair. Anyway, yeah, comment below, tell me what your thoughts are. I would like to hear what you guys would think. What would be a cool thing to add on to Asta, some form of trinket or gear piece that would be kind of a boost. Imagine something as easy as like, oh, you get these, you got these greaves that increase your leg strength so that you can just run and jump faster. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, but from the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank y'all for listening. Bye.